Welcome to the Galactic Lounge Podcast Season 4. Today's speakers will be your hosts, Paradox, Garrison, and Mushy Gazelle. Today's guest speaker will be the topic of this episode is enjoy the show.
Guys, welcome back to the podcast. Today we're doing an episode about space, and the episode's name is called The Black Hole, and has no relation to anything else that it's not space. Totally not about a black man's butthole.
Okay.
Hey, yo.
Or starting off with the more close to Earth type stuff, Earth and satellites. First question, what do you think about Earth's so-called rarity with life on the planet?
Rarity?
You mean like the Goldilocks effect, kind of, and how rare that is?
Like how
Oh,
like the circumstances that like we have on our own planet but we've not seen anywhere else. Like,
I
what do you
mean,
think about that?
the chances of having an Earth planet are extremely low, but also extremely likely given the size of the universe.
Yeah, it's infinite possibilities, and the other problem is too is that we actually can't see other planets directly. We have to wait for one to go in front of another sun, like another star, and then we can like see like the very edge of its atmosphere as it reflects light.
Yeah, and
And
there's
that's
also
how we
yeah,
know that there's a planet.
yeah. Also, there's
And we've
the
only been able to do that recently too. It was like
there's
2014.
also the thing where we could even not even know if there's life anywhere else in the universe because we can
Yeah,
only go a certain
distance.
distance before we're gone.
So it's
I mean-
sort of just a waiting game.
It's more of waiting for something to reach us, and we have like receivers and stuff on Earth that are constantly like receiving signals and stuff from outer space, trying to like figure out if it's from a star or what it's from, so then they can be like, is there life out there? Because for a long time, we were actually broadcasting signals into space, saying, "Hey, we're here." And is anybody out there? And
Like, that's gonna
of
work.
course, there's no response. Well,
No one knows
it's
how to
taking a lot
respond,
for light
basically.
travel, though.
I've
Well,
seen so
And
many
it very
funny
well could
memes
have
where it's
worked,
like, I've seen so many funny memes where it's like, if this is the one video that aliens get a hold of human life, we're all screwed. Because that's
So it's
Yep.
like some cringe ass meme though.
just like if AI ever like got a hold of the internet,
Yeah.
and, like spent 10 minutes on Facebook,
It's-
Minion meme?
and
Like
then wind up with an
Some-
Ultron.
Some sort of dark net, like weird fetish thing they find instead of
Oh,
like
God.
some like
Yeah.
They find it
Moving on.
4chan? Oh no.
ooh,
Bruh. Moving on. Can anyone really top NASA? Can anyone, like any country's space agency, top NASA?
Like currently or ever?
Ever? Oh, yeah. Ever or
assuming-
currently?
Absolutely.
Yes.
The United States has been neglecting NASA ever since the 80s after the failed shuttle. Well, I mean, it wasn't failed. It's just that we lost faith in the shuttle program, which we never should have done. I mean, NASA's already been topped by
By who?
Elon Musk.
yeah.
Well, I don't really
That's
consider
very
the
simple right there.
privateer, though.
They've already been
Yeah.
topped because NASA hasn't been actually allowed to launch its own rockets into space since the 80s. We've always been relying on the Russians
Or
and until
privateering.
recently privateering to actually send stuff up into space.
Technically, there's different categories you could put in. Like, NASA's done so much stuff that
Oh yeah, like
SpaceX hasn't.
technological
And vice
advancements,
versa.
That's another thing too. Is that would be hard to top? Is something like that until
Like,
somebody
which-
actually like gets out into space itself.
Which country could top, like besides privateering, could top NASA?
Probably China. They'd
Yeah, but China is more of an industrial giant. It's not so much as a technological
Yeah, they're
wizard.
pretty
well,
slow.
It gets
who
a lot
else
of
would
its
do it?
technology from us.
I
I
mean,
would
isn't
say
like naturally our
ESA.
main competitor going to be like
ESA.
Russia, basically?
Russia don't have money.
European Space Agency. That would be the only other
Yeah, the
people who
Russian
I
the
could
Russian
actually
program's
see.
kind of dead now because like the
Yeah,
current
Those-
situation.
they don't have any
Well,
money.
yeah.
It's non-existent.
Yeah, it's
It would be
either
the European Space Agency.
I either think the European
ESA and
Space
NASA.
Agency or the Japanese.
Yeah, the Japanese too would also be a good answer because they are very technologically advanced as well.
Well,
They have
yeah,
a
I
pretty
don't
good
think.
space program.
I think currently NASA's probably the top, as in like a country's like space program. But will it be topped? Yes, definitely. Or even
It very well
topped
could
by
be.
America again. Like maybe just a new revision of NASA itself, even under a different name, even. But I definitely think it probably will get passed, or at least its current state for sure. Obviously, just because of like innovation in
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah. Moving on.
NASA's just irrelevant.
Moving on. Who's gonna make it to the moon next that hasn't? So there's been like 7-ish nations that made it to uh the moon. I think the last one was China or India.
Yeah, with like rovers and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like easy answer would be European Space Agency, but obviously NASA has plans to go back to the moon, Artemis program, So NASA very well could be already on its way back because it's what, one more year until they launch?
Damn.
Yeah,
Uh,
because they have the rocket built, they have the crew already picked, they're just waiting.
That's pretty
just
cool.
getting
Government,
everything.
I swear. Just like let's wait because
We have to wait for
why
like
not?
the perfect
Well,
time.
you have to wait for the perfect lunar positioning. You have to wait for weather. You have to wait for
I know, but
crew
like just the government itself, I
conditioning.
feel like it's just like let's just wait for like no reason.
Well, yeah,
Does,
that too,
does
but
Brazil have their own space program?
they
I'd assume, like,
might.
I
I
assume they'd
think
be
they
next.
might.
It's
They
called
might.
cocaine.
if
That'll take
they
them
do, it's
straight
probably
back.
That
if they do,
let's
it's probably
launch a
not
football
advanced
player
enough to
into
go to the
space.
moon yet.
They're still trying to
Mm.
figure out the difference between
Oh,
snow and the
actually,
other type
I
of
know
snow.
which country. I know which country is gonna be
Seriously.
next to the moon. Uganda.
I was thinking
I mean-
Botswana, but
I mean,
It's one of the
North
African
Korea's
nations where they
rocket
have like
almost made
French.
it across the ocean. So I
Like
mean,
French New
they
Guinea.
could be next,
yeah, it was there's like one video on YouTube where like they're like, did you know, I don't forget which name, I think it was like Uganda or like Botswana, saying like we're gonna be next to the moon, and like they had like this cardboard rocket trying to go up there, and like they went on like a tree trying to like reach the moon and stuff. I'm like, bruh, you get nowhere
Oh,
close.
jeez.
Moving on to a more relevant question: is the ISS gonna be a thing in like 5 years still?
No. I think it'll either still be a thing or it won't be. It really depends on how much like use they can still get out of it because of its outdated equipment. But it will be replaced. I do know that.
By what?
A new version of the ISS
probably
that
some
has
SpaceX
better
crap.
technology on it that's
Who's
more
gonna make it,
advanced because
though?
the current one's breaking down. Just how the current ISS was made, every nation just kind of sends up a module.
Is it possible for SpaceX to buy NASA?
Yes.
No, because it's a government agency.
No, I don't think so.
No, we've already been over this. You could, in theory, purchase a government agency if you paid for their annual budget. Like if you were the one paying for their annual budget, technically you would own them. But
You'd own them only for the year, though.
yeah, only for that year.
I could see it being
right
the
now,
other way
NASA's
around, though.
budget is super low. It is actually dumb, like how little they actually get out of the entire piece of the pie that is the U.S. government. See here, what's their actual budget? It's
I
super
could see
low.
like NASA or like SpaceX almost merging.
That would be nice, but
like
I
I
don't
feel
see
like they'll
like,
always
I don't
just
really-
working
just
like
'cause it's such a
conjunction.
private
Yeah,
company-
$22 billion. That's
Yeah,
let's
just
see
since
here.
it's a private company, probably not. But maybe one day, like actually having SpaceX like these partner more or like slash to like kind of buy out SpaceX and like to really advance in
Okay,
space.
so
The
for
US don't have any
a
money
quick
for that.
comparison,
I know, but they can always print more.
That's not how it
theory-
works.
I know.
Don't know how money works.
I know.
the for comparison, the U.S. military in 2021 spent $801 billion versus NASA's $22 billion.
They're
Jeez.
gonna probably spend like $1 trillion next year. There's
Yeah,
no doubt.
probably. They're actually on the edge of that, and I'm sure that they probably have at this point right now. It's just that you can't see their budget until after.
True.
Yeah, like for like SpaceX, they probably need to like stick with the privateering stuff. Like that's
Yeah, because that
Sure.
also
that's how
makes
they're
them a
gonna
lot
get
of
most
money
of the
doing
money
it.
back.
Yeah,
I don't think they make much money anyways. It's probably a little bit of a negative money fund.
No, I think it
Yeah,
is
right now.
profitable. I don't know about a ton.
yeah. Actually, the way that Elon Musk is actually doing it, I think I figured out his plan. Think a little bit of conspiracy theory time here, boys, about space travel. The moon has a substance on it called helium-3 that is
Oh, we've already
sustainable
gone
in a
over this,
nuclear
man.
reaction that creates infinite power. Not really, but yeah, basically, it's a fusion reaction instead of a fission reaction. Well, not theoretically, it's kind of already been done before, just not sustainably because you need a lot of it,
It's theoretical.
like a pound of it that's refined, which is
We need.
anyway.
Yeah.
As we all know, Elon Musk owns Tesla, which primarily produces electric cars. Boom, right there.
Yeah.
Man is literally cornering the market on both electricity and car manufacturing at the same time. It's that he hasn't gotten there with the electricity part yet.
Yes, that's like the third time we've mentioned helium-3. We just love it so much.
Yes.
I don't
Dude,
remember
it
that.
is such a cool substance. It's a beautiful
Uh,
isotope.
Moving on. What do you think about the satellites dropping to the Earth randomly?
That's pretty cool.
They're-
I mean, artificial like
What? Wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Artificial meteor shower.
yeah.
You mean it's like space junk falling,
Because-
basically?
Yeah, space
Or
junk.
like
Yeah.
satellites being taken out.
Yeah, it's fine. The satellites just randomly dropping to Earth.
Oh wait, are you talking about like those
Oh,
big
I
black spheres and stuff that like land on the ground and stuff? Because those are actually boosters for those satellites that are typically dropped and then eventually they'll fall back to Earth and they're supposed to burn up, but they usually don't. And then satellites are actually deorbited and actually put into the ocean. Fun fact, that same point happens to be Point Nemo. So it's
Damn, Nemo
not
gonna
only
have
the furthest
high tech.
it's not only the furthest point on Earth from all like humans, but it's also a satellite graveyard.
Yeah.
Nemo is the leading world scrap distributor.
I mean, obviously, everything that falls out of the sky is just the piss and poo from an airplane. So, I mean, it's all the same category.
It'll ironically
Yeah.
land.
They typically have like storage tanks on aircraft to prevent that.
And in
As long
case
as
it
it's
just
not in
falls
my
out.
house, I don't care.
So you don't get a golden shower every time you step outside.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably some big
From
plane. that
plane
goes
at
over your house
20,000 feet.
reaches.
Okay, chill.
All right, let's get a little bit bigger. Solar system. First question: is Venus for Regis?
No.
Venus
Yes,
for
it
Regis?
spins the wrong
This was a
direction
legitimate
and it's
question.
toxic.
No, Venus is for penis, not Regis. Come on, man.
Bro, you just admitted you didn't.
Venus
you don't
is
have one. then.
Earth's sister. So
my God,
I don't
bro.
know if it has a penis.
Venus is trans confirmed. What?
Yup, what? It could be.
Oh, fuck.
Female to male.
Guys, I think
Earth
Earth
the
is
planet
definitely
are named
male
after
now.
gods,
Oh, for
right?
sure.
Yeah, I was even gonna. Nope, probably gonna mention that. But I guess we just move on to normal, actual question.
You're telling me that
Would
wasn't
going to
legit?
Mars be worth it after all?
Probably.
No, it's just more of the milestone achievement.
Yeah, I would say it's more of a milestone achievement.
I
I'd
feel
say
like
if we're gonna-
that's definitely like the next step in humanity's evolution is once population becomes too overcrowded on our planet, I could totally foresee us eventually like expanding out into our own solar
Yeah,
system and
but I don't
colonizing
think
and stuff.
everything's gonna go correctly. I think it
Yeah,
might go a little.
I do foresee that Mars would be the next step because first you have to get to the moon because then that way helium-3. Which fun
Plus, like,
fact,
where
you
else are
can
we gonna go,
also
right? Like,
with helium-3 you can actually also make rocket fuel out of. So you could actually land stuff onto the moon and then from the moon boost it out into space. And so basically, if you really want to get to Mars cheaper and faster, it's to go to the moon first and then go to Mars.
I mean, we
Especially
could just put
because
people on
you
the
can
moon.
do a gravity assist from the moon around the Earth, like a little slingshot, like you typically do to get to the moon.
It would be cool
Yeah.
to like make an artificial like planet, kind of like the Death Star, but actually for like living.
I watched a movie about that recently. I'm not even
What
kidding.
was it called?
Wouldn't it be funny if like all the dust on the moon just fell off and all of a sudden we were very
I
screwed?
think I saw a movie
because
about
the
that
moon is the
too.
Death Star.
Had like Matt
Well, it was,
Damon.
it was like that one where like the moon was like an alien thing that came out recently. Do you guys see that movie?
Oh
No,
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't.
yeah. I
Not
know
that
what you're
one.
talking about.
It was
Moon
really
was a giant
weird,
turd.
but
Yeah, it was really whack.
I watched a movie where all the rich dudes live in this like giant like artificial uh like planet kind of thing that's just
Are you
orbiting
talking
around
about
Earth.
Elysium?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
movie.
that's Elysium. Yeah, yeah.
That was a pretty
Has
cool
Matt
movie.
Damon in it. Yeah, it really, really exposes the economical elite there,
yeah.
and how much they really don't give a fuck about people.
Elon and Jeffrey Bezos are going to be on their little moon.
Yeah, I
On
remember
their little
watching.
moon.
Yeah,
Well, I
watching
guess
the new Spitting Image like a couple years ago, and they had like a bit on there for like a couple episodes where it'd be like, "Oh my God, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Richard Branson are on Mars in a giant penis spaceship."
What the hell? Just what the fuck?
bruh.
It was not funny though. It
Well,
was
I think
very, very bad satire.
anyway, to circle back to that question, I think since I mean I could see that there is like a Goldilocks world maybe somewhere else, but like I don't think it's like gonna be a thing we're ever gonna really get to. I think the humans are probably gonna destroy themselves before then. Um but I
I
think as
think
far as
it will
Mars
taste.
is that since it isn't like, ideal, like you're gonna need extra stuff to live there, that I could maybe see one day like maybe some kind of colony like pretty still far out in the future. I think we're probably gonna like explore and learn more about it in the next century or so, but like it's
I'll
still
bet
gonna be
next
still
20
a
to 30 years
while
we at
until
least
it's
have somebody
like
on Mars.
yeah, it's still gonna be a while until it's like populated.
Oh,
I don't
Regis, get
obviously it's
ready.
not gonna be as ideal as like Earth, obviously, but I could maybe
Yeah.
see like a few like smaller colonies of people, just like more like researchers, if anything, not like a residential, you know?
Yeah, at first.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
we
but
would
that's
never
that's an
know. We'd be dead
incredibly
by then.
big
Yeah, exactly.
commitment, though.
Oh yeah. Well, I think at that point you're almost born there. Like it almost has a colony, and then like unless you're super
Yeah.
rich, like you're almost kind of just like its own like thing now.
How the hell are you gonna get back?
They don't. That's the thing.
You don't.
How
They don't.
to
You don't.
have you seen the theory where people like how to colonize Mars, where it's basically you bring a bunch of nukes and nuke the two
Oh
polar
yeah, like the
peaks
heat.
of
Yeah,
Whatever.
that's a very bad idea, by the
Yeah.
way.
Let's
The
have
the
a
better
nuclear
thing
make it a
to
little
fallout
do
in the
hotter.
would
place we're
be
trying to go.
the better thing to do would to either be deorbit Mars and push it closer to the Earth, which is
Now, how the
dangerous as
hell would you do
fuck.
that?
You know that we're gonna have like
You'd end up like
Fucking
crashing
That's
two
like-
planets together.
That's like
or what you do is you take Mars and then you have to somehow either reactivate its geomagnetic poles or you have to warm up its core because right now it's the core of it is very cold due to the lack of seismic activity on its surface, which means that it's basically a solid rock now, and we know this because we have rovers that detect seismic activity and there is none. And yeah, Yeah,
push
or
those
what
two
you have to do is
planets
you
together.
have to introduce greenhouse gases into Mars's atmosphere. That's the other thing too that you would have to do, because
Let's get pumping.
yeah, well, no, not plants. CO2, meaning you'd have to start burning like the Mars's surface. You'd have to like literally burn the rocks and the minerals to produce carbon dioxide, sulfur, gases.
Dude, it could be a
That
smelly
would take a
fest over
long
there,
time.
man.
Well, yeah, but you wouldn't be able to breathe it. That's the point. Is you'd have to wait. You'd have to make the environment
It'd be like a
the
prep.
super
Just
toxic.
prepping.
It'd be like a primordial Earth basically when Earth first started out, where it was just either very cold or very hot. It had nothing but unbreathable gas. And then eventually the water came in on meteorites. In this case, it's already ice on the surface. So after a while, the surface temperature would get hot enough because of the gases, creating a blanket, greenhouse effect. Water
mean,
melts, microbes come back to life, eventually get plants, but this is thousands of years probably that it would take to do all of that in
I'm just
theory.
thinking like the patience of people and humans as
Yeah.
just humans and like the government
Pile
itself.
fucking
Like
dome
it's
down
getting
into
nuked.
the
It's,
height.
it's like
I was thinking about like the freaking like two planet like pushing Mars towards Earth. Like that shit's gonna create a new moon, and
Well,
we
like
can have
okay, so
half
you
our
wouldn't
planet.
actually push it at Earth. You'd push it so eventually it would fall into Earth's orbit, and basically it wouldn't orbit Earth, but it would just be on the opposite side of its orbit at all times. Would be the most optimal thing, because then that way it's in that Goldilocks zone, and it's not gonna fuck with the Earth too bad.
but like, is Mars really worth like? I mean, that's like a movie in itself. Like you pull out your phone and like Mars is coming towards Earth. Like that's just like every single like sci-fi plot for a movie in the past 10 years, and you just recorded it on your iPhone. Like, hey guys, what's up? Got the IRL like
Guys, I'm out
Armageddon
here in
like
space
space
and I'm
movie. Let's go.
pushing Mars towards Earth.
Space
Right.
vlog.
Oh, God.
We on Mars. What's up?
He's kind of brown.
David Dobrik when he's 94. You guys were on Mars. Oh my gosh.
All right, all right.
He immortalizes himself.
Which place has yeah, which place has a higher chance for life, Mars or Titan? Titan, obviously, moon of Saturn.
Yeah, I think
I don't know. I think might be
just
Titan.
out of principle, I'd have to go with Titan on this one. Although Mars, below its surface, because we haven't been able to get down there, might actually have stuff living in it that is like trapped in like caves and stuff. You never know. But Titan might actually be pretty hospitable because of its methane-rich atmosphere.
Yeah, obviously, it's not
It has
obviously gonna be
lakes
like
of
intelligent
methane.
life, though. It's gonna be
Well,
it's gonna be livable.
actually, because our life form on Earth is carbon, other life forms in space can take up other forms, like oxygen-based, nitrogen-based. I think there's also silicon-based life
So
forms
silicon-based
that are
most
also
well.
possible, entirely possible.
Did
So
they
there's a lot of stuff to work with out there. It's just we haven't seen it yet.
did they rule
Keyword
out
there's yet.
did they rule out life on Europa?
Um,
Jupiter's moon, the ice one.
they might have. I'm not sure
I thought
because
I watched this like documentary. I used to watch it as a kid because you'd watch things over and over as a kid for no reason. But
Yep.
there's like this documentary I kept watching in like I don't know, like 2010. I haven't like studied up on that recently, but they were like looking for life on Europa.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
They're looking for the lost Europeans.
Just
Yes,
any
that's
sort of
actually where
bacteria.
That's where Hitler
I mean,
went.
how do you think the
the moon.
Magellan Way got named? That was the way that the astronaut Magellan went on when he fucking got lost in space because he bounced off the Earth's atmosphere. He
XD.
was just bad at the game.
Would that'd be so insane just to be lost in space, like by yourself in a spaceship? Like I can't even like
you
Comprehend
wouldn't last
the fact that
well, obviously it wouldn't last long, but that's just insane to think. That's like looking
I
out
think
there.
he
like,
survived. I can't remember here. Let me just quick look it up. How long he actually survived for out in space? It was a while.
I mean, it's basically until your reserves run out at that point, unless like in the future there's some way to like
Was it the
Just
Apollo
like-
13 mission that they had to like rebuild their oxygen supply, or was that Apollo 14?
I don't know,
I
man.
don't know.
That was Apollo 13 that lost its oxygen supply.
Yeah, I like watching the movie on that one. That was pretty cool. How they like, I can't remember
Actually, I
what
actually haven't
exactly
seen that one
happened,
yet.
but it's
I
a
have
really
that, I
good
just
movie.
haven't seen it. Yeah.
It's like one of those watches where you watch it in like science class.
Right.
Is that one
Yeah, I
with
think
Tom
Classic.
Hanks?
I don't know.
Yes.
I think
yes.
yeah, we watched that.
Apollo
We watched
13 is
that.
with Tom Hanks.
I think Titan may have more potential, but like realistically, it's probably gonna be Mars, just because we're kind of already working on it, and like it is just that much closer to the sun, even though like it's still pretty cold. Like I think probably just more
Dude,
realistically.
you never know. You could see
it's a
like a
better chance.
giant like squid on like a aquatic like a creature in that like methane like ocean.
Wait, did you say which
Yeah.
one has more chance of life, or which one has more
Yeah,
chance of us
which one would have
inhabiting it?
more chance?
Oh,
Like,
I
which-
think, yeah, no, Titan definitely, because like
Yeah,
he
yeah,
said,
I
you
think
could
so.
just find something there because it's completely possible. Like with Mars, it's
You
it's
never
a lot
know.
harder because
Right.
I mean it's just a
Like, watch
wasteland.
like after this podcast, they find like Atlantis on there.
Bro.
Atlantis
Just
it just takes a
just
chunk out of the
chilling.
earth and flies off, and now it's
Go
just
peace.
orbiting Saturn for some reason.
Oh, why is it? Why is no like the reason why it's like methane and like it's all isn't it like yellow there?
Yeah,
Methane.
Think
But,
Is
like,
it? I thought
it's
it was
just
like blue
piss.
or green.
I think
It'd
it's
be like
I think it's more
piss.
greenish yellow.
Yeah.
The piss planet.
The the piss moon.
The piss
Piss
planet.
Yes. What is the best moon besides our moon?
There's only one
Um,
moon. Earth moon supremacy.
We just
I'd have
said
to go
not
with
our.
Mars's moon. Can't remember which one.
Phobos
it
or
is. I think
Deimos?
it's the
Deimos.
bigger
you
of
mean?
the two.
I think that's
Those
probably
things just look like
Deimos.
potatoes. They're
Yeah, I
they're
think that's
Mars
Deimos.
nuts just hanging off.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. Because it has two nuts.
I remember in that same documentary they were like, "Oh, they're gonna hit each other and explode," and some
It didn't happen.
That sounds pretty painful.
yikes,
Hasn't happened yet.
testicular
Oh.
torsion to the max.
Oh damn.
Well, that's planet-sized
It's
CBT.
like when
Yikes.
you're running and they get all twisted around each other.
Oh no! Oh no!
They hanging
Oh.
that
It's like,
low.
it's like that one. It's like that one like yard game where they have like the two like balls. You have to go around like the
Oh,
three
ladder
tiers,
ball?
like PVC, yeah, ladder ball. But
Oh,
like
yeah.
that keeps wrapping. Those ping.
Yikes!
You're done, bro.
Oof.
An
God
expensive
damn.
game of ladder ball.
Yo,
It's just Earth and Mars.
it's expensive not in money terms, expensive in resource terms,
Yikes!
and probably in our life as well.
At least it's not as
expensive in
bad
the
as
fact
like.
that humans might go extinct.
Oh God! At least it's not as bad as like if you have like a hernia and then like your large intestine like goes down there and now all of a sudden you have ET the extra testicle hanging out down there.
Yo,
I mean,
That
if
happened
the
to my
sun
dad.
explodes, it's not
He
space
went
hernia.
into the doctor and the doctor said, I don't know what's wrong. There's nothing wrong here. And my dad's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I have a third testicle, dumbass. Where did this come from?
If the sun explodes, hear me out now. Is
Yeah,
that like solar to testicular cancer?
probably. I don't
Well,
know.
we
We'd only
turn
have
up
8
before we
minutes
know.
we'd only have 8 minutes to find out.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, Doc.
we'd find out
I
pretty
need
fucking
this
quick.
right now. You have 4 minutes to give me an operation, or you will die.
You can die either way.
Be like, I want to see my family. Nah,
No,
bruh.
we're chopping your balls off.
Moving on to actually a theory. Besides Pluto, is there possibly another planet in our solar system?
Yes, yes, there are. I know there are. And Pluto is technically a planet, but the only reason why it is classified as not being a planet is
So
because it
fucking
has not completed its orbital cycle enough times to actually fully clear it of the outer Oort belt, which is an asteroid belt that's outside of the Jupiter, Neptune, Uranus area.
penis.
Isn't there like 7 or 8 like dwarf
Yeah, there's there's
planets in
there's
our
there-
solar
there's
system
there's
or
actually
something?
quite a few out there that
Yeah.
orbit our sun. They're just so far away, and the only reason why they aren't considered planets is again because they haven't cleared their own orbital path yet, because their orbit is so long that it takes forever to even pull those asteroids in near it. And to say that they haven't cleared it is kind of, I think, a joke, because the asteroids that are out there are so far apart. You can measure them in light years from distance to one another. It's not
Yikes.
really an asteroid belt. It's more of like we got one over there, and then I think there might be another one over there too.
The solar system been shaking on that log for a while.
Yeah,
Damn.
they're very far
They're
apart.
doing this stinky leg forever now.
Technically, if Pluto were to become a planet, wouldn't it not be a planet for too long, since it's on track to hit Neptune in a few?
It's always on track to hit Neptune, but every time it always misses.
Yeah, I feel
In fact,
it's got
it
such a
doesn't. It
wonky
doesn't
orbit.
actually. It doesn't actually hit Neptune. At times, it is actually. Let's see. Here, Neptune is the 8th planet. It is actually. God, Pluto actually replaces it as being the 8th or the 7th planet. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
because it's
which
got
one.
like an oval
Yeah, because
instead of a
it
circular.
goes inside of its orbit, so it's super weird. So
Yeah.
technically is supposed to be there, but it's not, because its orbit is fucking wild.
Yeah.
And obviously all orbits are well, uneven ellipses.
Yeah.
But Pluto is so wank.
It's just way out there. I actually pulled it up in like in a science class once, and I was like talking to the teacher. But I was like, just what is this? Why? Why does this planet have to be like this?
Just a maverick.
So like,
Uh,
let's say they did crash, right? Or Saturn or Pluto or whatever. Like how in the what's
Yeah,
the
every
biggest way
time
that
that,
would affect Earth? You know?
every time that Pluto like crosses like in between like that like zone though, Neptune is never actually near it, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not
I'd be
actually going to
curious as
hit.
to what would
Neptune's
happen,
always on
because
the other side
Yeah,
of its
like if it
pattern.
did, is it is like the orbit of the
It would
Earth
just
or the
go
sun
thud.
all jacked, or like do you think pieces of it would somehow hit Earth, or like how do you think that
well,
would affect if it did?
Nah,
it's
I don't
it's
think it would
it's
even
gonna be
affect it
very
Or is it just too
different
far out? Is it
because
just too far out?
Neptune is a gas giant, so it's not solid.
It would
Well,
just
yeah,
get sucked into
close.
Neptune,
Yeah,
and it would fucking disappear.
It'd be like the core, kind of.
Actually, no. Actually, think about it. If Neptune is a gas giant, Pluto might come out on the other side with an atmosphere.
yeah, no,
This is a
that
movie
could be
plot.
very interesting.
2024. I'm telling you.
well, it probably
'Cause
crashed into
maybe
the moons and
it could
probably-
even like take some of Neptune along with it. I mean,
yeah.
Neptune could become
Like, get its own
smaller.
atmosphere.
It could like dissipate entirely.
It's,
I mean, that's
not
basically
like pumping a balloon. It's being held
It's
together
like-
by an air.
Well,
it's
yeah.
like Saturn and Pluto.
If
have
it hits
sex,
it
bro.
just correctly.
Yeah, actually, it might.
just grazes it.
Just grazes Neptune.
little love tap.
I'm gonna steal a little bit of that.
I'm gonna steal
This
your movie.
just in, it would appear that Neptune is on fire after Pluto.
Saturn
Hit it in
is just
anger.
Pluto's
Oh, the
like,
fire department.
Pluto is basically the drug addict, and Saturn is just the gas dealer.
Oh God.
No, that'd be Jupiter. He's
Nah,
got the most. He's got the biggest
Yeah.
stash.
He's the dealer.
Yeah. Saturn's
He-
just smoking
Saturn's-
it so much that it's
Jupiter's
creating
the
rings.
supplier.
Actually,
Things are gonna disappear
technically, it
soon,
would be
though.
the sun.
Yeah.
Well,
The sun's just supplying the pack for the whole internet, or well, not internet,
it's
solar
too late
system.
for you, Garrison. It was too late.
I think Gary's had a mental break.
Yeah. Does Uranus even have its rings still? I don't even know.
No, it does not.
Oh yeah, that fucking time.
People like to think that because it's on
Been a
its
while.
side, and you gotta like figure out like.
Like you gotta figure out it's like elliptical, like rotation.
Well, yeah, they
Yeah.
put like a ring just so you know it's on its side, but who really cares?
Right.
moving on to a really stupid question: should we build a Dyson sphere around the sun?
I don't know what that is. I'm too stupid.
Dyson?
A Dyson
the-
sphere, in
Like the
short.
fan? You talking about
Yeah, like
cooling the
the-
sun,
No,
bro?
no.
The vacuum?
Okay, so what?
We're sucking
May
the
I
sun,
explain
boys.
what a Dyson sphere does?
Or
Yeah,
A
do
Dyson
please
sphere
do.
captures the raw energy of the sun, like the actual gases, the pure energy that is being burned off in its fusion reaction. And what it does is, after collecting said energy, it then stores it, or what you can do is you can also funnel it, so you can like push it out in one direction, creating thrust. So you could, in theory, move the sun with a Dyson sphere, or you can just capture it and produce metric fuck tons of energy.
Sounds
So
like
much
some
so that
Star
you wouldn't
Wars
know what
crap.
to do with it.
Like how
Yeah,
how
it's
would we even
the
do
same
that
theory.
in the first place?
It's the
Where are we
same theory
finding
as Star
enough
Wars with
material
Star
as
Killer.
like you'd have to have like a full Earth's worth
You don't.
of
You
material.
have to be.
That's the thing.
No,
you
you
don't.
need more than the
I'd
Earth's
say.
Yeah.
like worth of material. You'd have to be a galactic empire-sized like
You just have to
That's
set the
weird.
world on
entity to
infinite
be
generation.
capable of building one. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
It would
That's
literally
build it out
use
of
up all the
regional
resources
resource.
in the nearby solar system and asteroid belt, like a few hundred times over. I mean, how many times bigger is the sun than the Earth alone?
Like too many to count. Like that. Like millions.
We need
right?
to count my hands, bro.
Yeah, it's past the finger, so it's too much.
It's too
So
much.
past 10. Oh my
Like-
god.
Like who are the
And
people that are
toes,
making up
and
these
toes.
series and stuff? Like why? Like yeah, let's just
They watch
theorize
too
this
much Star
thing.
Wars.
Like let's theorize this thing that is literally
Well,
not
because
feasibly
okay,
possible.
so you
Like,
can
just like
actually,
for the
in theory,
like-
do that on a smaller scale, though. Like the
I
Dyson
guess.
sphere
So like just
design.
for the concept, basically.
Yeah, basically that's just a bigger concept of a smaller thing.
Like
It's like
even on a
upscaling,
dwarf star,
basically.
that's like even that's probably still impossible.
well, yeah, and it's like unbelievably hot, so you'd probably have to build it all with
Yeah.
robots.
Yeah, exactly.
Find a metal that won't instantly like melt. Like
True.
the sun is like pretty hot, bro.
It's like
It's
pretty
like
hot.
it's like over
It's
100
like
degrees.
above 100 degrees.
It's like
It's over.
Oh no,
It's like as hot as a
enough that I think
fire.
I would melt.
No, I
It
think
would
I'd live.
spontaneously
The
combust.
metal. I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's like above freezing.
Yeah. I think it's like hotter than my oven goes, so that's pretty hot.
Yeah.
But we
See
need to
here,
move on.
I think the sun is like 6,000 degrees Kelvin. Let's see.
It's like
It's like
It has
It's like hotter
I ain't
inside
speaking in
and
Celsius
outside.
over here.
bro, it's hotter than the 4th of July, bro. It's too
dude,
hot.
you know what's hotter than? It's hotter than my
10,000
tongue when I eat
degrees
ghost pepper.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it's hotter. It's hotter when I eat than I eat a ghost pepper. It's got
Bro,
more
it's like-
Scoville.
Oh,
And
8 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm already
that's the
squeezing.
core. The
Like-
core is 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature on the surface is 27 million degrees Fahrenheit.
now that don't make
No.
sense.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
it does.
Well, yeah, it does, because the center is made out of iron and the exterior of it is made out of hydrogen that's constantly fusing with other hydrogen,
Yeah.
which is a much more violent reaction. So it's actually going to get colder the further in you go, because
But
it takes longer.
I mean,
and the
10,000
heat
is
dissipates
like,
out into space.
it's still
But,
hotter
you know,
than that.
10,000 is still hot enough that would flash all of the flesh off your bones, and you'd be nothing more than not even a pile of dust, because even that would combust.
Like
Solar
it's like 80
cremation.
degrees and a little bit muggy on a July day, and I already feel like I'm gonna die. So like 10,000's like
My room does not have AC, and I feel like I'm gonna
10,000
die.
is whoosh.
10,000 is just
Passed
too much,
away
man.
already.
Yes.
Um,
I ain't living 10,000. I mean, maybe on a good day, but like, you know,
Yeah, I think it's about time.
really
Get a
good
little
day.
bit bigger.
really.
Okay, let's get a little bit bigger
You know,
here,
it's a
guys.
little bit bigger. We're gonna go to we're just the Milky Way galaxy now. We're
Bro, that's a candy bar.
stepping up. How would you develop our galaxy into a mega nation? Like a
A
galactic.
mega nation.
First of
Mega
all,
galactic.
a lot of sex. We need a lot of people.
Have you guys ever like
We
seen
need
videos
more
on what's the game? What's the game?
The 7-child policy.
Minimum.
What's the game where you
Minimum.
like
It's
you have a
like the opposite
galactic
of- it's like the
empire
opposite
and
of
you're trying to
China.
like you're trying to like
Eve Online, whatever.
no. It's
No?
by Paradox.
Oh,
Someone was talking about me to play that.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Stellaris.
Polaris.
I mean,
Yes.
any kind of mega nation
Polaris.
it's gonna involve like mandatory reproduction as well as slaves, and then that's about it. That's all I really need.
Jesus Christ.
Nah,
I
let's
mean,
cut out slaves,
when you're
Regis.
thinking about it,
Let's
well,
cut
like
out
think about
that
Star
Hey,
Wars.
last
slave, you
freaking
just
No.
slavery.
We
Think
could
about
just
Star
use
Wars.
robots.
Well, think about Star
Robots
Wars,
are
right?
the new slave.
slaves.
Gary, you might
Like-
want to watch that there. I think your Alexa's listening to.
I don't have an
I
Alexa.
I literally
don't
see it right
have
now.
That's a
an
good
Alexa.
thing.
Do you have a Google Home?
No.
Do you have an Echo Dot?
I mean, I used to have an Alexa, but I just never used it at all.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Well, your computer has a
Listen.
microphone on it.
Plus, it's all the way downstairs, so she can't even hear me unless she's got like
That's a you
tapped
thing.
through the
That's
internet
a you
system.
thing. That's a you thing.
Like I'm just referencing Star Wars here. Like a mega, like all galaxy wide, like population. Like to build any of those ships, like in some of those Star Wars comics, it's like planets worth of slaves. Like you just need that for that kind of level. I'm not saying it's right. It's definitely not. But like,
Dude, we're gonna be
it's
intermingling with like other species and crap and making like
Yep.
this
Jesus.
like mega intelligent species that's like 10 times more intelligent than our species. And then we're
That
gonna
wouldn't be
find
that
like another
hard.
species of like
Now,
giant alien,
gentlemen, we
and
must
they're gonna be like
remember
20 times
the
as
final
smart.
stage
They
of
can like get
evolution.
past like life in general, and they're still gonna have a brain.
Are you saying that I might have to reproduce with a super smart space cow, and then my kid is
No.
gonna
You're, like,
overthrow me
lusting
because
over
it's
it.
smarter than me?
It's not a
Yes.
maybe. It's a yes.
Dang,
It's
it really do be
this-
like that.
really do.
Hey, just
Uh,
remember the final stage of evolution is self-destruction.
Oh yes.
That's what I'm saying about all this stuff. I feel like humans are like just kind of dumb enough, or we're kind of gonna self-destruct before like we get to Mars. Like,
We could just like blow up a planet
I mean,
just
we have
to
enough
like
nukes,
blow
right,
off
or-
steam.
we have enough nukes to destroy the world a few times over, everybody. So I mean, like,
It's
I
like
feel like
120
really,
times over.
yeah, it's like
The estimated required amount of nuke to complete total destruction is about 50.
yeah, that's not a lot.
Guys,
It's not a lot.
we just like launch them at like I don't know Mercury, and like blow off
Fuck.
steam.
We're done, bro. We're done if that happens.
We're just
It,
gonna
like
launch
you
over
just
nukes
launch a
into
few,
space.
it explodes, it's satisfying, and then everyone's happy. It's like an oddly satisfying
Fireworks,
video.
Man.
Oddly satisfying
Bad
blowing
fucking
up
idea.
Mercury.
You
Bye,
just
Mercury.
show that to all the world leaders and what world peace.
Yeah, but the
Instantly.
problem is though is that some dumb bastard is gonna keep like 2 or 3 of them, and then all of a sudden after everybody launches them into space, now he's holding the world hostage, going, "Hey, you don't want to get nuked," and then everybody
Dude.
goes, "Fuck."
No, it's gonna be like,
Dude, maybe
Gerson
you'd be
guy.
happy if you launched them at Mercury.
it's so satisfying. Yeah.
He'd be
I can just
like,
imagine.
yo.
I can just imagine it in like a compilation where it's like blind video, a little pop bit blowing up Mercury. It's just the
It's
next
like
step.
one of those like there's like the raid on Area 51 where it's like a thing you'd see on like Reddit. Or
Yeah.
something like that.
It's like a social petition.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Guys, let's just fire all of our nukes off into space.
Escaping Area 51 with the codes to blow up Mercury.
All right. Who's gonna get flung into the supermassive black hole in the center of our galaxy? Like who?
Gerson.
Regis.
Dang.
Me.
Who else?
Regis and all of his children and his
yeah,
entire
basically.
bloodline.
Yeah.
All of
I'm
Regis.
gonna vlog it
genetics.
though. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Hey,
Where
guys,
Whoever's living
about to go
in
in
the
the black
center of that
hole.
black hole's about to get some guests.
What kind of black hole are you talking about? I mean,
comes
you
out
know.
the other side in like this.
We made it.
he was rejected.
But he's still streaming, so everyone's just like tuning in, chilling out while Regis is getting sucked off by a smoothie.
I come out like you didn't want me guys to come back.
Bruh.
Guys, you need to try this.
I was gonna try that.
I still think it was kind of funny because yesterday I saw this thing on the news. And they're like, "Oh my god, guys! We just got some of the first photos ever of the super massive black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy, and they're like, "Man, I can't wait to see like more photos of this, like what we might find, like what an actual black hole looks like." And I'm just sitting there going, "You do realize that you can't actually see a black hole, right?
Yeah.
What you actually
Black,
see is
bro.
what you see
Yeah, I
is
know,
the
it's like
light
it's like the
bending
reflection or
around it.
something, yeah.
The only way that you can actually like perceive it is if you use a fucking like if you look at its X-ray radiation that's going just fast enough that it gets flung around it a whole bunch of times and then flies out in all
Have they tried
Only
looking at it
black,
with a
yeah.
kaleidoscope though? Thoughts?
The
Like,
only
I
black
mean,
hole where
Whoa.
you're ever gonna see is a black man's ass.
God.
That's again.
no, I'm not
like,
gonna see
that's
that.
the
I'd rather
only
see a normal
possibility.
black hole before see that.
I actually did a project on this for science once. For a
What kind
science
of
class.
The
project?
black man or the black hole?
No, on black holes.
Yeah,
On
black man.
yes, on Blackman. No.
Yikes.
Well, just the timing of that. Like, I did a project on that one.
I may be a patron of the arts, old sport, but
Somebody had to try. I mean,
somebody had to do it, and I was just there.
it's
People
always
in
the
the
first guy who milks the cow, man.
1800s.
You're just the next person.
Oh God. Here, you better get that cow ready.
All right.
Yeah, he'll do it for
Um,
us.
Yeah.
We'll make the presentation.
Anybody want to do this experiment? Mushy just raised his
Yo,
hand.
what yo?
Yeah, I'm the guy.
Volunteers my wife cow.
Oh God.
All right. All right, bros. All right. If we aren't alone, do you think we could win the universe? Is like, could we?
Fuck no.
No.
We're just, dude.
What if we're like
so
more advanced than everyone else, though?
dysfunctional As a
Just
as
like
a
everyone else has like
species?
one brain cell.
Yeah, like it could go either way massively.
Bro,
Well,
humans half the
let's-
time only
let's
have
just-
one brain cell.
Let's just talk about how dysfunctional we are. We're the only species on this planet that has the basic instinct to fucking wear clothes. No other species goes, you know what? I'm so insecure. I need to wear clothes. Oh my God! What do you think the other dumb fuck ape thinks of
private
me?
parts, man.
Mushy, you're just trying to see everybody naked. We already know.
We don't have that much skin, bro.
No, but it's a serious point though. Like,
No, it's
we're
it's
the
more the
only
element. We don't have fur.
species
Like,
that
we don't have fur. Think
I
about
mean,
it.
if probably if we stopped
we
wearing a bunch of clothes,
used to
we'd
have
probably
fur.
like evolve into having fur.
yeah, de-evolve.
I evolve into wearing a meerkat coat.
But bro, have you ever seen some of those people who are that hairy though, bro? I don't think they need
I
to
mean,
evolve into
They're just
having
beta
fur.
in a good way.
It's either that or they're Jewish.
Oh,
Yikes.
God. Or they're Greek.
like, have you ever seen any sci-fi movie where the guys like M4s and Glocks do a thing? No. Even the lesser evolved species, I just like no.
Yeah, you need like a plasma ray gun, railgun,
Bro.
rocket
Your
launcher
Glock
from
19 ain't
Halo,
doing nothing, bro.
energy
They
sword.
made like a rail gun. I forget where though.
Yeah,
Yes,
the U.S.
Navy
is
did,
only
and
the country to make a railgun.
it requires like an entire nuclear reactor worth of power to actually fire once.
Yeah,
Because it's,
I mean, when the
you
time
know,
comes, it could be nice.
magnetism.
So.
But it
One
is
shot,
very effective from the tests
and you
that they've
miss.
done.
You missed.
What are you gonna shoot at?
Like shooting at like a person.
What are you gonna shoot
so
it
what
at?
I actually want to
Some
see
random person?
in terms of specialty
Some
weaponry
guy. Boom.
is something that's actually more powerful than a railgun. It's called a positron. Yeah, I think it's just called a positron gun or a positron deflector. So basically, what it does is, you know how you have electrons, right? And then
Yeah.
you have protons. Well, the opposite of an electron is a positron. A positron, when it is flying through the air, it doesn't really fly through the air, but when it's flying, it is no longer affected by any sort of normal physics except for the Earth's rotation and gravity. So if you were to fire a positron at something, it would very quickly annihilate it. It's like firing antimatter, except for until it actually hits a very hard object, something that's not a gas, it kind of just goes kablooya, kisha, skeet, skeet, skeet all over the place.
So now
And there's nothing
explain
left of it.
The
only problem is-
that maybe some people, not saying who, could understand it that are maybe
basically it
Oh,
fires very
think
funny
Google,
thing
like-
that's the opposite of electron, right?
Okay.
So it requires a lot of electricity, like the entire United States turns off all of its lights, all of its electronics, and diverts literally every single ounce of electricity it has into one gun that fires a singular positron that, as it flies through the air, it will eventually hit its target, and when it does, it blows up the target with a lot of boom boom, like many times that of any nuke that you could ever think of.
All right.
It's a
All right, that
lot
makes
on the
sense.
same scale as antimatter. Basically, it's just a little bit more technical.
All right, Russia,
Antimatter
look
is,
out.
You know, we just
All
said
right,
that,
all
say
right.
that for
Also pretty
possible
funny.
I'll take
submarine
12.
Because
aliens
antimatter
coming
does the
into-
same thing, except for it needs a catalyst like a nuclear bomb. And when antimatter goes off, that does something a little bit different than a positron. Antimatter actually destroys matter. It literally it cancels it out. It's like a plus and minus sign in an equation. They cancel each other out.
POV, you're a dude in the garage.
Like everything
Yeah,
in the
brain.
universe.
Every movie.
Okay. Like everything in the universe, everything has an equal but opposite force. Okay. So electrons have positrons. All matter has antimatter. Antimatter touches matter, it explodes
goes
in such
boom,
a
boom.
violent explosion. It not only annihilates itself, but everything around it for quite a bit. So if you had, I think it's 1 gram of antimatter, and you were to accidentally drop it on the ground, it would annihilate everything in a 100-mile square radius around you.
We're gonna need a few of those.
Not even dust. Nothing would be left. It would
I got
just be a
$74
gaping
and
crater.
half a stick of gum in my wallet. Will that do?
Uh,
I'm sorry,
asking
there,
for a
MacGyver,
friend.
but
All right,
no
man.
escaping this one.
I'm gonna give you the best offer you need. 2 pennies and and a jelly bean and a chip.
which flavor jelly bean? Which
And
flavor
that'll be
chip?
Oh well, what's a chip?
The flavor of the chip is barbecue,
Okay.
and the
Solid.
color of the jelly bean is purple.
Which
Can you
brand?
imagine?
The crappy brand, the Texas jelly, large jelly bean.
Clancy's-
Dang, if you get me
I
a jelly
I would've
belly,
just done it for Skittle.
get me a jelly belly, we might have a deal.
Bro,
Well, if you get jelly bellies, I'm gonna get you the black licorice, bro.
Yikes.
can you imagine going up to the U.S. government and being like, I got a chip, a jelly bean, and a half 2 pennies, and they just say, what chip?
Deal.
Which chip?
What type of chip? I must know.
Which
Oh,
chip?
Dorito. All right, here you go. Here's your
Dill pickle lays. All right, we got a deal.
You know how valuable those
Yeah.
chips are? We've been trying to look for them for 15 years.
I mean,
Alright,
Dorito dust we all know is gonna be the new cocaine. So once it goes like out of business,
Be snorting that?
I mean,
It's not a Dorito, man. Last question. With Hawking radiation, black holes can actually die,
Yes.
but where are you gonna be at when the black holes start to fade?
Probably in my
By the
basement.
time that the black holes start to fade, there's going to be no stars left.
Everyone knows the basement is the most
What kind
safe
of black
space
hole?
in the house. So
Dude,
I'll be
I'm
in the
gonna be in
basement.
my grave.
what kind of
I don't think your grave would be left anymore.
Which
The
kind?
stars would literally be gone. The Earths would, the planets would literally have decayed. There'd be nothing left.
Listen, one way or the other, it's going
I
to be
mean, this is
catastrophic.
Wow, how far out in the future is this? 2, 3.
2 weeks.
No. That's literally like
Accurate.
100
No.
million
We're like
million
25
years
hours.
into the future.
Black holes be gone in 52 minutes, guys. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Again, we need to be clear. What kind of black holes, guys?
Oh,
The
okay.
kind that
Because that'll
chocolate comes
change
out
the answer.
of. Oh God.
That means all the black people would fade.
Oh
Genocide?
jeez.
So Regis, when you committing this genocide?
I didn't think I was gonna do it.
Oh, you bring it up,
I
man.
think
It's supposed to be a
Regis is
secret.
gonna do it.
I'm not gonna do it. I swear.
All right, you guys have any more questions?
No.
Okay, I have one question. Other than Earth, because Earth is pretty goated, what is your favorite planet?
Ooh.
You know my favorite planet? That one planet where like the Titanic like launched off to and like
Oh,
crashed into. That's my favorite planet.
What?
What?
What the
You gotta
fuck?
know to know.
Have you seen that video, Regis?
No.
Oh dang, we might have to
Dude, that
show
is a
you.
banger video.
Wait, all I can think of is that start of your Titanic video where the Titanic
Yeah, that's
starts
that.
flying up.
It's like a
Yeah.
11-minute video, and that is like the end is where it basically like flies off to this like new planet. It's about a habitat, and
Yeah,
it
it's
like
about, like
it goes back into its normal boat form. It lands in this lake, and then it just
Yeah.
crashes into an iceberg and sinks, and everyone dies.
no, it wasn't an iceberg. It was like an animal there.
Yeah, it was like a
Like, crashed
leviathan
into, like,
animal.
bruh.
What the heck?
What?
It's so stupid.
Yeah, well, that's my favorite planet, man.
I'm gonna go with
Um,
Jupiter because that's every boy's favorite planet.
But let's
Mine's
make it
gonna
more
be
stupider,
Mercury
man.
because it's the iron nut.
Iron nut.
No, that's Mars, bro.
Yeah, Mars got the nuts.
You know, Mars got that truck nuts, basically.
Wait. Okay. Wait. Is Mars the solar system's truck nuts?
Yo.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what Elon Musk wants them for Tesla so bad.
Dang, Cybertruck nuts
Mars.
on Mars.
Wait, that's why I sent the Tesla out
He
into
could
space.
sell.
so
He could sell like
Yep.
truck nuts on like what is it, the Boring Company for
Oh
Tesla
yeah,
trucks. I'd buy that.
You know, Elon Musk.
they're made
is
out of like
legally the
titanium.
Techno King.
Yo.
You guys see that? It was a while ago.
Do what?
What?
That legally Elon Musk is referred to as Techno King instead of CEO, like in the
That
companies.
is
like,
Really?
actually kind of funny. Techno
Like,
King instead
just
of
to
CEO.
prove that like the titles don't really mean a ton.
Yeah.
Only like a few titles do. Everything else is kind of made up, but it's literally legally and documents and stuff for like all his businesses. It's Techno
Our
King. instead of
Techno
Does that mean I
King
can create a
has
business
decreed
and
that
instead
we
of being
shall
the
make
owner,
more
I could be
pods.
named Supreme Ruler?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Did you know that there was once an Emperor of Earth?
Yeah, it was me.
No.
When
It
you
was once
when
a
you
very
eventually
simple
fell
man.
from power.
It was a very simple man. He happened to be from France.
Name
The
was
year
Joe.
is
Napoleon?
1810, I think. I think it was 1810. This man's name was Napoleon Bonaparte. The first ever
bastard.
only
Napoleon Dynamite.
Emperor of Earth.
That's a good one. Napoleon Dynamite.
Over 15
Not even
countries.
kidding. Napoleon actually declared himself Emperor of Earth.
Dang.
Which is kind of funny, you know.
English and Russians didn't like that.
Yeah,
And especially
especially
the
in the
season
War
of
of
winter.
1812.
Yeah, especially the season of winter though.
Dang, I always think about like Napoleon's time, like to be so long ago, but like it's actually wasn't.
It's
even that long
not.
ago.
That was
It's kind of
literally
crazy
like
to think about.
200 years ago.
Yeah,
It's fucking creepy to think about.
I mean, I could have been alive then, to be honest. So.
Dude, we don't
I
even know
was
when
alive
Regis
back
was
then.
birthed.
I got my time machine in my basement.
Alright, bros, we got like music, weekly music like now.
Oh shoot!
Who's gonna go first?
I
That
think
I,
still
I
have
vote
names.
for Mr. Hordox. He hasn't gone first
I
in
knew
like
let's go
ages.
first, man.
Stink.
Here, I'm coming in clutch.
Oh,
Oh
bro.
crap! Quick, move it up here.
I got mine though. It's mine. We have Old Gods of Asgard. Take Control. It's from the Control game, but it's where like this like Italian-looking brother who's actually a Finn is like, have my headset and go through this intensive maze.
I never played Control. Any good?
It was decent. I'm not gonna release a rating on it quite yet. Oh, dude, I don't like that one. I think I can help. Yeah. Mushy.
It's so copyrighted that it doesn't even
okay.
work.
It's gonna make me mad.
Mine's
man.
probably definitely
want my
copyrighted.
I think Horde Gavin is actually gaining on the
Is he gonna surpass you?
Copyright thing.
It's tied right now. It's 5-5.
Close.
Oh, I got it.
5-5.
Is
Yo,
I think I got it.
let's go. Thank you.
How much do I have?
guy.
I probably have like 2 or
Yeah,
3.
that's just nice.
yeah. I can't. I don't remember. Okay, that one was mine. Come on, bro. Man, that sucked. Okay, Override. Who's this by?
ASLV.
Oh, is this the meme song? Which meme
Yep.
is this?
The
Chad
troll
song?
meme.
Oh.
Oh, yo. I thought it was like one of like that stuff.
This is like some like.
It's kind of a
supposed to be
dope
doing
song,
Minecraft
though.
type beat.
It's like one of those like things you'd see in like one of those like 4chan core type shit or whatever. I don't know.
Oh god. Yeah.
This is the type of song you blast when you're just going 100 down the freeway at like 2 a.m.
Trust me, I have.
All right.
Who's next?
How's that? That's kind of decent though.
Yeah, I get.
We got mushies. Hopefully this is right though.
The Rude Sandstorm.
Yeah, it starts out quiet.
Like the old Gary days when you play a song, it takes like 2 minutes to warm up.
Well, when it's like a 25-minute song.
Well, this one doesn't like take too much time to warm up.
Wow, we've been waiting for like 20 seconds, bro. You saw your family having sex, man. What the hell? Regis, you got your song?
I do.
Go on and play it. Oh my god.
Oh, it's gonna be we have to wait for the forward starts.
So,
Classic.
Yeah, nice
kind of
one.
summer vibe, rock music, you know?
Immediate classic. This is like my favorite song, like back in like 2018.
Song is fire.
Absolute fire.
It's kind of like summery vibes too.
Yeah. The perfect, like the iconic Rocket League song.
With a sax. Oh my god.
The sax is amazing.
I know. I'm gonna listen to this song all day.
That was like the first time they added the Stealthy Shores map.
Yeah. It just
That
makes
map
me
is
wanna
vibe
play
in
Rocket
time.
League. It just
Yeah.
makes me want to play Rocket League.
That whole like package of the music that they had for that summer event in
So
2018,
good.
it was all bangers.
Yeah.
Is this all Monster Cat? I forgot.
Yeah, it's Monster Cat. Yeah, like that's their deal. Usually
Monster
all the
Cat's
music is
just
Monster Cat.
Monster Cat's code.
It's just good, dude.
might as well say we got 2 more normal podcasts, and then we got a finale for those listening at home.
Living
Next
at
up,
home.
yeah, we don't not gonna tell you what's next up, but it's 2 more 60-minute episodes, and then we got a 90-minute episode.
Oh,
That's about all we're gonna say for this one. It's gonna be a long end of the season. You guys got any last statements?
that was honestly a pretty funny episode.
Yeah, not a lot of questions, more or less rambling about the whole stuff. We
Hey.
like
Yeah, no, you could
explaining.
ramble on about that stuff for
About
hours.
Mars is a big trunk.
Hey, it filled up all the time perfectly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we went over quite a bit, I think.
No, we
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Well, we're over like 7
We're at
minutes right
probably
now. Or
at like
something.
an hour and 4 minutes, I'd say, into it.
Yeah.
Because we started recording a little later because Regis was like, I'm
I was
gonna get
eating my
on.
bussin' cookie, bro.
Oh, yo.
Alright, guys. Actual last statements.
Are we doing predictions or not?
Oh, yeah, I got predictions. Will the ISS last past this year? I didn't really have much time to get like a good prediction. So, like, just predict this one. Like, will the ISS like last past this year, or like, actually, I'll modify the questions. Will the Russians get kicked out of the ISS?
Yes.
Hmm, probably.
I'm gonna vote nah. But I think
Why?
they're gonna be like, they're gonna be stuck up there though.
There
Every
are
time you
none.
walk
There
past
are
a-
no Russians left. It's 2 Americans and 1 I think it's a German
Really?
that are actually left on the ISS. Yep, they
Oh, they
evacuated
left.
everybody off of it.
Oh, damn.
Nope, it's
I
2
guess that
Americans
is
and
a
1
yes.
German.
Why would they evacuate people?
Because the Russians are threatening to start shooting down satellites, and if that happens, then the debris field will wipe out the ISS
Oh.
and all communication satellites in orbit, which means
So
no
those
more
3
fun
guys
stuff.
are screwed.
Yeah.
Man,
Not necessarily right now.
but so.
And the other reason why is because the Russians are the people who have the Soyuz boosting module, which keeps the ISS in orbit, and without the Russians there, they can't operate the module. So that means that the ISS can no longer have its orbit boosted until the Russians come back or somebody decides to send up a new booster. And we all know bureaucracy, it takes for fucking ever.
Listen, we could just tie it like a big rope, the ISS, and like anchor it on Earth. So
No,
it's
you
like
tie it
a
to
like a
Regis's,
dog
like,
leash.
No, we tie it to Regis's what the fuck is it called? Like a
Satellite
funeral
antenna.
car. Hearse.
I mean, it could pull. It has a V8, bro.
Yo.
It literally has a Corvette V8 in it. It'll pull.
Yikes.
Wait, why does Regis have a hearse?
Long
Just as
story.
a roadmaster, it looks like a
long
hearse.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah. Long story.
My
bro.
dad said he might tune it up to sound like a Corvette though, which would be kind
Yo.
of.
Got that naturally aspirated V8.
all right, brothers. I think it's about time we say goodbye. Goodbye and good night, brothers.
Good morning, America.